welcome to Titanium Character, and today I will be doing an energetic read of next week. I've decided to change it up a bit, and what are we going to be dealing with next week, alright? And I'll be doing a little bit of energetic healing to prepare for that energy afterwards. So, I will mention the decks I use. I will also mention when it's time for you to utilize your own intuition. And with that being said, my gorgeous collective, let's get into the cards, right? So we start off with the energy that we'll be working with next week. And this is called, it's a French deck, so I will translate as I read. It's called Reconnaissance, which I actually have to look up. I wasn't sure what it means. What the English version is acknowledgement. You acknowledging something. So it says, je suis consciente de la lumière dans ma vie. I'm conscious of the light within my life. Je dirige mes pensées vers ce qui est beau en moi et autour de moi. I direct my thoughts towards what is beautiful within me and around me. Je rends grâce à Dieu pour chaque petite chose qui m'apporte de la joie. I thank God for every little thing that brings me joy. Ainsi, j'illumine mes pensées. As such, I illuminate myself. Je suis entourée de richesses, et j'apprends à apprécier ce que la vie m'apporte. I am je suis entourée de richesses. I'm surrounded by riches. Et j'apprends à apprécier ce que la vie m'apporte. And I am learning to appreciate that which life brings me. So that is the energy we'll be working with. Now, for how does that make you feel? I pulled from the Psychic Tarot. So the first deck is the Énergie de guérison by Mario Duguay. It would be energetic healing energy, or energetic healing. Either way. So the card that I pulled from the Psychic Tarot for the heart is strengthening bonds. Keywords: stability, reality, grounded health. Okay, so it says the potential exists now to bring greater stability to your relationships. Be realistic about what you can expect from others and what you can offer in return. Be consistent and clear in your actions and demand the same. By taking a down-to-earth approach, your expectations of other people are more likely to be met, and relationships will be strengthened. Scattered emotional energy will not serve you. Be sure to ground yourself. Steady and calm energy will translate into secure and strong relationships. To ground yourself, take a walk in nature and connect with the energy of the trees and Mother Earth herself. Enjoy greater health by exercising and eating well. A healthy body will help you feel confident about yourself and your abilities. This self-assured energy will enable you to improve current relationships and attract new ones as well. Very cool. So this is just saying be grounded. Be grounded and make sure to connect. Then you have what will help you heal it. What will help you deal with this. Deal with the emotionally charged. It's not emotionally charged. This could be vice versa, like this. Anyway, I'll read. So I pulled the three of, I'm not sure, three of indigo. Indigo. Yep. Mental. This would be swords. Equivalent of swords, right? So this would be the three of swords. So it says, the meaning of this card revolves around disappointment, sorrow, and separation. This can cause upheaval and distress. It takes all the strength you have at this moment in order to move past the pain and heal your heart. The love that has been given to another should now be focused on you. Although you might look at this card as being negative, it can act as a tremendous catalyst, encouraging you to move on. The painful experiences of life are just as valuable as the joyous ones. You may not appreciate that sentiment at this challenging time, but life does have a way of pushing you forward, even though you may not always know the final destination. As you endure this period, learn not to dwell on the past, but use your strong mental control to deal with your emotions. Have faith in knowing that you will get through this. You will. So, yeah, that is what is going to help you heal it or work with what you're feeling in regards to acknowledgement. Okay? Then you have, how will the universe support you during this healing or this energy shift? I honor how I want to feel. I honor how I want to feel. So if you know what it is you want to create as a feeling within yourself, right, just concentrate on that, and that will make it easier for you to manifest it into your reality. Now, I'll be doing a 15-minute healing, okay, of the energy so that you can be better placed during this week while dealing with this energy. So I will use my trusty pendulum for that, and I'm going to hold it with my left. So, I mean, you can follow this as a meditation or just me ranting, or not ranting, but talking about this. And so, yeah, if this week, or the whole point is about acknowledgement. I mean, this can not only be, this will be, wait a minute, so, that will be, okay. So basically, the whole thing this week, alright, is all about acknowledging where you are, acknowledging what you've been through, acknowledging where you're going, acknowledging what you've experienced and whatnot, and what those experiences taught you. It's all about, like, knowing that it's, especially with the three of swords, three of mental energy. Let me just check what it's called. Freedom. Yeah, three of mental. Freedom. Got the feeling what you say. That was totally off key, but what have you. Right? So, if this week is all about knowing, acknowledging, right? Acknowledging of heartache. Okay? all really is going to help you define certain things. And like when defining those things, not defining, acknowledging and helping you define the fact that that did hurt you, you'll then be able to ground yourself, right? With the ace of physical, which is pentacles. Yep. So what the universe or your angels and guides or what have you, or mine, are saying is that this week will all be about acknowledging the energy that exists, that you work with, that you deal with on a daily basis. Now, by you being able to ground yourself and clearly be strong in your foundation, you will then be able to clearly see that something was not up to par. Something did not really help you get to where you wanted to get to, right? And for that, just knowing how you would like to feel in regards to all of this is going to help you. It's going to help you better deal with this situation. So that is awesome. Now, all of this is all about acknowledging yourself, acknowledging where you were, what you've been through, what happened, what did you learn, so that it can then assist you later on, right? Later on to better deal with what have you, or whatever comes to mind, whatever needs to be dealt with. Because once you figure out how to do it for one thing, you can do it for everything, which is awesome. Yeah. So, my collective, it's all a question of realizing what is currently happening in your reality, taking stock of it, and like noticing it, acknowledging that it exists, and knowing that what you actually need to do in order to deal with that in the best possible way is by grounding yourself and making sure that you're steady, even if something comes in and whacks you with left field, right? Not whack you, but that blindsides you, and you're like, where did this come from? Right? Which I know might seem kind of like left field for some, but in reality, if you watch if you watch people close enough, if you are attentive to what they're actually saying, what and how and with what tone they're talking, you will basically be able to see that something's off. Now, most people will put that on to intuition, which is true because half of the things, most of how we communicate with each other is subconscious, right? The one thing that we have full control over, that we are conscious about is the words we use, and that only represents 20%, or like 21 or 19, whatever, percent of what we communicate, right? Because there are multiple layers of communication. There is what you say, how you say it, and what you do while you say it. And interestingly enough, all of these things have different are different variants of acknowledge, like, of you knowing that you're doing it. For example, you know the words that you use. Sometimes, if you are conscious about it, that's even better. But most people just, well, I'm saying most, but I might be generalizing. Well, I am generalizing, in fact. So some people don't really think that far ahead. Then, on top of that, there's the paraverbal, which is how you say things. One of my teachers used to call it the tune, right? La tune in French, because I learned this in Quebec, so in French university. But la tune, which would be the tone, the tune, the way you say it, the song, the melody in which you say it, and so on, like the rapidity, the pauses, all that stuff that goes into play. Then there's the nonverbal. Well, actually, take a moment. The paraverbal is like 29 to 30% of what you say, of all of what you say. Okay, what people see, and that is semi-conscious. You kind of think of it, but it's not really. You don't think of it that much. Now, the biggest chunk of what we say is the nonverbal, is what we say without saying it. It's what our body is doing, the movement, the gesture, the facial expression, the this, the that, all those little things, where our eyes are looking, what we give off as a posture, what is the feeling that people are getting from that posture, right? And all that, okay, is nonverbal, and that is the biggest chunk of what we actually communicate with people. So in actuality, most of what we say doesn't really matter, because the words aren't as important as the movements that come with it. Then, and then how you say it can sometimes be misinterpreted, but that's partly because the how you say things is very subjective, right? So it depends on each culture, each city, each country. Everything changes, right? Just think about it. The accents, well, that will be in the paraverbal, but I don't think it has much of an importance. So why am I saying it? I don't know. But all that to say that how you communicate is not only to your fellow man or fellow human being, but also to how you communicate with source, or whatever you like to call it. Okay. I call that energy God, but that's just me. So whatever you name it, it's fine. It could just be an energy, which basically God is. That is my interpretation. You can have your own. You have your own, and I'm not trying to change anything. But basically, all this to say, the way that you communicate with any part of reality, let it be another animal, let it be another person, or what have you, okay, has a big effect, right? Well, I mean, communicating with animals, it's quite easy. It's basically nonverbal, right? I mean, I go check on a dog every so often, and this dog knows, her name is Layla, and she knows exactly what to do to make me scratch her tummy. And she is a very heavy dog, and so she will pin me in a corner and make me scratch her. You know, but she knows what she likes, so hey, I'm only there for a while. Might as well. She is adorable. I love her. But so all this to say that with nonverbal communication being the biggest part of the way we communicate with others, you actually don't need to use words. Just by the movements that you do, just by the posture that you take, you'll know the difference. Like, you will sense it because it is a part of our subconscious. We will generally be able to see and know what someone means by their nonverbal, because the nonverbal is subconscious. You don't think about it. It's everybody, not everyone, but it's ingrained within us. When someone does something, we know what it is because, or we think we know what it is because, generally it means similarly in the same culture and in the same country, of course. There's differences from culture to culture, and that's completely fine. So, yes, that's completely fine. Now, all of this is important to know in the case of you being sturdy in your beliefs and you knowing that, so I went on that rant, or that parentheses, to explain that the way you communicate with the universe, or the way you communicate with source, what have you, is basically, right, use my words, is basically how you would communicate with anybody else. What do I mean by that? Basically, because while you communicate with the divine, or while you communicate with your higher self, or what have you, you are communicating with emotion. And the universe hears emotion, does not hear the words you say. Hence, this will bring you back to the tune, how you say things, which is the emotions that your words carry. Because, you remember, 20% of it is just the words you use, which is very slim compared to everything else, right? Which is about 30% for the how you say it, and 50% for the movements that you do. Now, the movements would be your posture, your facial expression, how is this being relayed in your body? How is the message being relayed through your body? And how you basically phrase it and word it and say it is gonna taint the way you feel about it. And seeing as the source hears emotion more than he hears the words, which is actually what happens with people as well, is of importance to all, right? And then there's also the body language. So depending on how, like I said, and your posture and all that, that will influence the way you feel, because everything is closely intertwined. So you want to make sure that you are in the right mind frame. If you're in the right headspace, put yourself in the right position, in the right posture, and that will help. It's not going to be the only thing that helps, but it's one of the things that you can utilize to best, put forth the message you want to put forth, which is extremely important, right? So, my gorgeous collective, this is all I have for you guys this week. If you like this, and if you'd like me to go deeper into your specific situation, please contact me at the email in the box below, and it'll be my pleasure to assist. In that same box, you'll find a little description of this video and my price. Now, like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell to be notified when I post new stuff, as well as leaving me a comment, because I adore comments. I read them all. I might not answer all of them, but I absolutely read them all. And with that being said, my gorgeous collective, I wish you guys all a very good week, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye.